April marks National Stress Awareness Month, the perfect time to check in with yourself and talk about something that we all, every last one of us, experiences, whether it's work, family, or financial pressure. Many of us experience some sort of stress, and if left unchecked, it can contribute to so many health problems. So joining me now to discuss how to manage stress effectively, psychiatrist and certified lifestyle medicine physician, Dr. Adjoa Smalls-Mantey, and Dr. Judith Joseph, psychiatrist and author of High Functioning, Overcome Your Hidden Depression and Reclaim Your Joy. Ladies, I am so glad that you are both here to talk about this, and in person, no less. Dr. Smalls-Mantey, let's start with you. We all know what stress is, but can you break down how it can affect our bodies and how it can manifest?
Yes, so stress is something that can manifest as anxiety or fear. It's our response to a situation. So for a lot of us, we might start to feel very anxious. We might feel our heart rate start to increase. Our blood pressure might go up. And that's a physiologic response that was meant to get us activated to do something in response to a situation. And in some situations, that is okay, but you don't want to feel that all the time, and your body does not need to be at that activated state all the time.
Right. We don't want to just stay stagnant in fight or flight. But Dr. Judith, not all stress is bad. We can channel it into positive outcomes. But when does it become detrimental? And what are the effects of that negative bad stress?
Yeah, Dr. Smalls-Mantey is correct. We need stress to activate ourselves. However, people don't know that stress actually pulls away from your joy. So if the stress is pulling away from your joy, then it's a problem. And in research, when we study happiness and the science of happiness, we actually measure the stress levels. Think about it. It's really hard to be happy if you're stressed out.
Absolutely. So, Dr. Smalls-Mantey, what can someone do to better manage stress?
There are a couple of different things that you can do to manage stress. And I think of them as, first, manage your homeostasis, how your body is, then see if you can manage the actual stress and manage your actual reaction to the stress. So the first thing is your self-care, making sure you're sleeping well, making sure that you are exercising, because exercise reduces the cortisol that is raised in stress. You also want to make sure that you're eating well. Then is there something that you can do to remove yourself from the stress? Sometimes that could be moving to a new job. That's a lot of big things, but jobs tend to be something that could be getting more help with your situation, asking people to help. But then the third thing is, if the stress cannot change, what is your reaction to it? And so some of those things that you can do are deep breathing, because taking a deep breath in and a long breath out actually reduces the chemicals that are causing you to feel stress. So breathe in, breathe out. You can also do things like meditate, pray, things that also just bring you joy as well, are all things to help manage stress.
You know, anyone who's around me for too long probably hear me taking deep breaths, because that is always my go-to when I'm feeling stressed or overwhelmed. Dr. Judith, in your book that's just out, High Functioning Depression, this is a term that's not an official medical diagnosis. So explain to us what this is, why and how you decided to research it.
Well, in my study, the first ever study in the world on high functioning depression, what I found is that a lot of busy people use busyness to cope with stress, to avoid dealing with their problems. So think of the mom who has all her kids to take care of and a career. Think of the entrepreneur who's...
Are you describing me?
And me. Think of the entrepreneur who has to take care of everyone. What do? They busy themselves. And it's different from burnout, because burnout is the occupation causing it. These people can't even relax when they leave the work. Wow. They find something else to take on. Yeah. And that's why I had to develop a system called the 5 V's to help people to reclaim their joy even when they're stressed.
So reclaiming your joy, what are these 5 V's?
So think about your hand. Most of us have 5 fingers. Yeah. So pull on one of the 5 V's a little bit every day and reclaim your joy. Number 1 is validation. Acknowledge and accept the situation. When the human brain knows what it's working with, that in itself is therapeutic, and it calms the stress level. Number 2, vent. Express your emotions. It could be through writing a journal, talking about it, praying, however feels authentic to you. Yeah. Number 3 is values. Think about things in your life that give you purpose and meaning, and tap into those every day. Think faith, family, causes. Number 4 is vitals. Dr. Smalls-Mantey went into that. Think about the mind-body connection, sleep, moving, doing things that are healthy, like eating healthy foods. And limit tech use, because that can really increase your stress level. Think about doom scrolling, right?
Yes.
And the 5th is vision. Plan joy in the future. Celebrate your small wins. Us as mothers, we don't do that enough.
Right, absolutely. All of this sounds so good. Dr. Smalls-Mantey, Are there certain groups that are more disposed to stress, more likely to be stressed out?
So when you are in a certain phase of your life, I think that you're more predisposed to experience stress. If you are a parent, that is a stressful time. It's a joyous time, but raising kids is
tough.
a lot. It's hard. If you are starting a new job, if you're a student and you're in a new challenging academic path, those are times in our life that we often experience stress. Men can feel it at a different time, but we tend to see that women tend to experience stress a little bit more because of the added burden of taking care of their families and that society has placed on us at this time. But really anyone can experience stress and everyone needs help managing it.
What if someone came to you and said, I've heard all of this and I can intellectually make sense of it, but it's really hard to put into practice? What would you tell them?
I would say that you need to make sure that you are recognizing what your stress is and then try to figure out what you can do to manage the stress or to manage your reaction to it, going back to that. So for a lot of us, taking a pause and just identifying what is causing the stress is something that we don't do, and we're just like running around and trying to figure out what to do. And once you do that, then you can create an action plan of how to proceed. Can I change the stressor, or can I change how I manage it?
But you have to be willing to first slow down to recognize it.
Yes.
Dr. Judith, you've traveled the world and gained insight from how so many different cultures and religious communities approach stress and mental health. How does mental health compare to here in the U.S.?
It's so interesting because mental health belongs to all of us.
Yeah,
in parts
as humans.
As human beings, but we call it something different. In the Caribbean, where I'm from, a way that a lot of people relax is by dancing. So think about the dancing like this.
Yeah.
You're moving your body left to right. The right brain is talking to the left brain, and that's healing in itself. And the foods in other cultures has a lot of anti-inflammatory properties. So that in itself helps the brain to calm down, because inflammation is not great for the brain or the body. So think about mental health as being yours. Practice ways that feel authentic to you, and then you'll be able to manage stress in a way that feels doable for you.
I'm also curious, in researching and studying high-functioning depression, what surprised you the most?
The thing that surprised me the most was the caregiver burden. I mean, it was surprising that my theory was correct, but it really was powerful to see that validated in the research. People who are caregivers have a high risk for something called anhedonia, which is an old medical term that no one knows about, but I want to change that.
Yeah.
Anhedonia means a lack of joy and pleasure in things that used to really light you up. And a lot of caregivers, think moms, think of people taking care of elderly folks, they have a high rate of anhedonia and they can't slow down, hence high functioning depression.
Anhedonia. So we've got to tap back into what gives us joy, what helps us feel good.
Yes.
Ladies, thank you so much for being here to talk about this. I already feel a little less stressed, at least with you in the building. Thank you so much.